I've been seeing a lot of videos here, where they've been talking about ADHD and how African kids are being diagnosed with ADHD. In fact, a lot of people have built an audience around it, giving people tips on what to do and what not to do. One of the reasons why I'm speaking about this topic is because I have personal experiences, and I think I'm not a doctor, but I just feel you'll be gullible to believe everything that you hear. But let me just say this. My husband and I, we have a 27-year-old child, biologically his child. And of course, they also diagnosed him of ADHD. And my husband, being the way he is, he refused. So they dragged this case to a point where they began to run other tests, and the son passed all the tests. And so they had no choice than to leave him alone. So my husband is one of those people that he would tell you straight up that most of the tests that we run here, we run on their kids. So he doesn't apply it to his own kids. And when it comes to his children, he will stand by it. And it's worked so far. Anyway, but one of the reasons why I'm even talking about this is my own experience with my 6-year-old. So here, for those of you who know where I stay, when your child goes to school or is about to go to primary school, you have to go to the, they call it, so maybe like the Ministry of Health, where they have to do like several tests on your child. And my own sons, I don't know how long the test usually lasts, but mine, for my son, was about 2 hours. It was a whole lot of seeing, reading. And after he passed everything, they took him to another office where they asked him questions such as singular and plural. So he didn't know the plural. Now let's bear in mind that where I stay, English is not the native language, and my son's first language isn't English because I introduced him to the language early enough. So I learned the language, and in course of let's say we both learned the language, so his first language the first language that I first came in contact with is the language, not English. But I didn't go as far as teaching him singular and plural because I just felt he's a child and then he will brush it up in school. But the reason why I taught him the language was because I wanted him to be able to partake in the classroom and be able to know if, you want your child to have a good experience. You don't want your child being bullied or something and he doesn't even know what has been said about him. So that was just the reason. So my child did not know plural of tree, house, and next thing, they were like, he needs a speech therapy. Have you seen a situation where your child has passed a 2-hour test and in the last minute, they are telling you, because your child doesn't know the plural, he needs speech therapy? So I told the woman that he doesn't know the plural of these words because I haven't taught him. Don't forget that here, your child goes to playgroup, and in playgroup, so what you call your nursery school over here, they don't teach them anything. All they do is play, mix up with, just more like a social interaction, so they don't teach them anything. So everything your child knows prior to this test will be what you'll be doing with your child at home. Meaning, it was also possible that I wasn't going to be teaching my child anything if I wanted to just be that kind of laid-back mother, you understand? So it would have been possible as well. So this lady told me that my child must be able to speak so I told her that my child is multilingual. So we speak English, we speak the language here, and then I said pidgin. And then she said, my child must be able to speak one language fluently, or she's going to say he needs a speech therapy. And I said, he doesn't know because I haven't taught him. So the moment I was like, wait, what do these kids even go to do in this playgroup if I have to teach my child everything at home? And then she was like, well, okay. She won't put the speech therapy. She will just put that he doesn't have a good command of the language. And I said, okay, for me, that was a better negotiation. I would agree that he doesn't have a good command of the language as to saying he has a medical condition, And that was how that case was dropped. And going further again, just last week, we had the parents' day at school. And the first day I took my second child to school, the class teacher said, that's the playgroup, that the mouth is dropping. I need to give him things to chew at home so that the mouth can come up. And then she said it again, this time around, after he has spent like a year, that the same thing, and that she's recommending speech therapy for the 2 of them. This was the point my husband had to say, see, these kids, first of all, don't forget that these kids are competing with children that speak only one language. And I am a teacher here. Okay, I am a part-time teacher. I teach English online to their kids. All my students are their kids and their adults. So I don't have any foreigner as my students. You know what I'm trying to say? And I'm going to, hold that information and tell you why that information is important. So back to what I was saying. So when my husband said, these kids speak more than one language. So you cannot say they need speech therapy because they don't say certain things clearly. My husband even went as far as saying that when he came here, he had to learn how to pronounce the R, which I don't even know how to pronounce because it's not part of our language. It's not part of English. The French R or the German R is not part of English. So if you're an English speaker, you find it difficult to say all that, but it doesn't now require that. It doesn't now mean that you need, a speech therapy and things like that. So the issue died. Now, talking to the point of, or let's talk about the point where we say they need to stop eating carbohydrate and watching TV. You know what I find interesting about us is we always think we know how these people live, but you don't know how they live. And the thing is, we always feel like, oh, because na Oimbo person talk am, na true, I mean. It's very easy for somebody to look at something that doesn't look like them and condemn it, which is actually the basis of even racism. We are the only people who actually appreciate other people than ourselves. For other people, it's them or no other person else. So it's very normal that because they have a very calm demeanor and we are more boisterous in our personality, you are more likely going to have ADHD because you're not behaving like how they know. But it doesn't really mean that there's something wrong with you. I mean, let's be honest. If now so it be, how is it that now our Peking they do well? Why be saying now we go be best in this, best in that? You know what I'm trying to say? So I'm just saying this for the people that want to sit back and think about it. But if you think now them love you past my sister and my brother, you can carry the medicine and begin to give it to your Peking. But let me tell you one thing, I don't know how they do it in wherever it is you live. The moment they put one sickness for your Peking head, they make sure you take that medicine for school. So, and me, right from when I was, I think I was 21, when I even stopped, even when I have a headache, I don't even take Panadol. I stopped over-medicating myself and taking unnecessary medicine, because anybody that knows anything about medicine knows that, or would know that, medicines have impact. What you call side effects are impact to your body. So for me, I would not even go there. But to the second gist I want to say, talking about TV and the rest, me, I let my Peking watch when he don't watch. As long as he reads his books and he does well, like if I give him some maths to solve, and don't forget that he's not even yet in school. That's just what I do personally as a parent at home to make sure that he's able to get, he's able to cope when he goes to school in August. So I give him some maths. Meanwhile, you guys are talking about the TV your kids watch, but the kids I teach, in fact, there's an 11-year-old that tells me about the game he plays and how he pays for it. His parents pay for that game. So I'm just saying this not to say that, of course, you shouldn't minimize screen time and things like that. But I just feel like you can't be so gullible that you really believe that, oh, it's the TV that we watch, it's the carbohydrate that we eat. Meanwhile, I told you before, I don't know, I've said it in my videos, that where I live, we are the only black people there. So, and my neighbors, at least 4 of my neighbors have cancer, at least 4. So even when you want to talk about the eating, personally, me, I don't do Oimbo eating, because they now from container they chop. They know they chop warm food. And if I see everybody around me, they sick. I go, they chop with my ancestors chop, they come. Don't be saying we say no, they sick. But even the whole lifespan discussion, that's another discussion that I'm even beginning to look into, because if the people I know around me who are supposedly older are all sick, I'm talking as sick as one person would have like 2 types of cancer, 3 types of cancer, you will see that at the end of the day, what accounts for lifespan is not really, if we talk about healthy human beings, then we may be having a much more lower number, if that makes any sense. So, I mean, the reason why I'm saying all of this is because I just feel like as a parent, you're going to be the best advocate for your kids. Okay, you're going to be the one to be able to speak up for your kids, be able to defend your children. And aside our hustle, we want to get money and stuff like that, it's also good we take out time to also check out other things so that you can be able to defend yourself when it's time to talk. Because my own experience here is that if you do yes ma for here, now you go so far pass. There was something that happened when I came to Nigeria last year. The woman told me that, the woman gave me a report. I posted this on my WhatsApp, so for people who are on my WhatsApp, she gave me a report, and then after 2 weeks when I needed a report to go and present it, so the school that my child was going to be going to, it was a different report. She had added another paragraph, and I had to go back to her to tell her that she has to remove that report was not in the one that she gave me. After so much conversation and crying and all of that, she removed it. But just because of that incident alone, when we had the teachers meeting recently, she had to ask me that, do you like the report? So the point I'm trying to make is, most of the experiences you would have here as an immigrant is because you did not speak up for yourself, you did not advocate for yourself. People would, they would test you first. It's your reaction that will determine your other experiences. So if they tell you, oh, your child is this, and you just form, oh, in Bopo don't talk him, you carry on for head, you they run, you they do now you're picking, you will condemn. Now they'll say, oh, Nigeria is best in this, Nigeria is best in that, Nigeria is best in everything. Who know if you don't take that medicine now? I don't know, I'm just saying, but I just feel like with the same Adhd and whatever it is, we still get successful. We are still functional adults, So for me, the question is, when they came up with all these terminologies, like who did they use as the, like my husband would always argue that most of the experiments were run on their people. Okay, they were run on their people. So having a boisterous personality doesn't mean that you have any sickness or anything. But this is my school of thought, and this is how I'm going to approach life. And already, I know that it's almost impossible for your child to grow up here without them saying, "Oh, your child has one thing." But of course, if you follow me, I'm going to keep you guys updated. Definitely, you understand. But this is just what I think about it. So let me know what you think, and if your child has been diagnosed, and if your child is medicated, and you know what's happening so far. And if you're already following me yet, oh well, please follow me. Bye.